Chapter 2 Man vs. Animals. Mr. Jones of the Manor Farm had locked the hen houses for the night, but was too tired to remember to shut the pop holes. With a ring of light from his lantern dancing from side to side, he lurched across the yard and made his way up to bed, where Mrs. Jones was already snoring. As soon as the light in the bedroom went out, there was a stirring and a fluttering all through the farm buildings. Word had gone round during the day that old Major, the prize middle white boar, had had a strange dream on the previous night and wished to communicate it to the other animals. It had been agreed that they should all meet in the big barn as soon as Mr. Jones was safely out of the way. Old Major was so highly regarded on the farm that everyone was quite ready to lose an hour's sleep in order to hear what he had to say. All the animals were now present except Moses, the tame raven, who slept on a perch behind the back door. When Major saw that they had all made themselves comfortable and were waiting attentively, he cleared his throat and began.
"Comrades, you have heard already about the strange dream that I had last night. But I will come to the dream later. I have something else to say first. I do not think, comrades, that I shall be with you for many months longer. And before I die, I feel it my duty to pass on to you such wisdom as I have acquired. I have had a long life. I have had much time for thought as I lay alone in my stall, and I think I may say that I understand the nature of life on this earth as well as any animal now living. It is about this that I wish to speak to you. Now, comrades, what is the nature of this life of ours? Let us face it. Our lives are miserable, laborious, and short. We are born. We are given just so much food as will keep the breath in our bodies. And those of us who are capable of it are forced to work to the last atom of our strength. And the very instant that our usefulness has come to an end, we are slaughtered with hideous cruelty. But is this simply a part of the order of nature? Is it because the land of ours is so poor that it cannot afford a decent life to those who dwell upon it? No, comrades. 1,000 times no. This single farm of ours would support a dozen horses, 20 cows, hundreds of sheep, all of them living in a comfort and dignity that are now almost beyond our imagining. Why then do we continue in this miserable condition? Because nearly the whole of the produce of our labor is stolen from us by human beings. There, comrades, is the answer to all our problems. It is summed up in a single word: man. Man is the only real enemy we have. Remove man from the scene, and the root cause of hunger and overwork is abolished forever. Man is the only creature that consumes without producing. He does not give milk. He does not lay eggs. He is too weak to pull the plow. He cannot run fast enough to catch rabbits. Yet he is lord of all the animals. He sets them to work. He gives back to them the bare minimum that will prevent them from starving, and the rest he keeps for himself. Our labor tills the soil. Our dung fertilizes, and yet there is not one of us that owns more than his bare skin. You cows that I see before me, how many thousands of gallons of milk have you given during this last year? And what has happened to that milk, which should have been breeding up sturdy calves? Every drop of it has gone down the throats of our enemies. And you hens, how many eggs have you laid this last year? And how many of those eggs ever hatched into chickens? The rest have all gone to market to bring in money for Jones and his men. And Clover, where are those 4 foals you bore? Who should have been the support and pleasure of your old age? Each was sold at a year old. You will never see one of them again. In return for your confinements and all your labor in the field, what have you ever had except your bare rations and a stall? It is not crystal clear. Then, comrades, that all the evils of this life of ours spring from this tyranny of human beings. Only get rid of man, and the produce of our labor would be our own. Almost overnight we could become rich and free. What then must we do? Fix your eyes on that, comrades, throughout the short remainder of your life. And above all, pass on this message of mine to those who come after you, so that future generations shall carry on the struggle until it is victorious. Let there be perfect unity, perfect comradeship in the struggle. All men are enemies. All animals are comrades.